the start of a new week. Just finished a Zoom meeting with the band, and some really interesting potential things going on here that I hope happen, because I'd really love to tell you about them. They're been pitched at us, and we'll see where it goes. So I'll keep you posted on that. Taking care of last details with the post office and stuff now. So I'm hoping by the end of this week I'll have the website up and running, and we can start ordering books in this. I'm so anxious about this. It's just crazy. Also, a little worried. Cooch was supposed to be on the meeting with us today, and he has a storage unit that got broken into apparently. So I'm anxious about that, because I'm going to have to be renting a couple of storage units for all these books, and boy, I sure don't want to come in and find them all gone or trashed. So, a little nervous about that. But Cooch was okay. They didn't get anything, and he's safe, and that's the most important thing. Let's see what else. I mean, one of the things where I'm going today, this is really another direction. I was always a fan of Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet, in that Sinatra style of singing. They both had just beautiful voices. And then Steve is still with us, but Edie passed away a while back, and I was always sad about that. And then I suddenly realized we actually do still have Steve and Edie. We have Steve Martin and Edie Brickell, who are a couple. And I did their album. Peter Asher produced it. And I've got a little info here on it. The album is called So Familiar, and it's Steve Martin playing. Because I remember Steve from the late 60s, back like at the Troubadour, where he was always playing banjo, had arrows going through his head and all this stuff. And he was just a stand-up comic. He didn't have a movie career or anything like that going at that point. That was way early on. But he was always a really good banjo player. And he's always done that. And then he has his own bluegrass group at this point. But so on this record, we had, on this track, we have Steve playing banjo. On it, Steve Aho playing drums. Rob Berman is playing harmonium. On it, Jeff Allen Ross is playing organ and guitar on it. And Peter Asher is playing 12-string guitar and percussion and producing it. And Russell Kunkel's son Nathaniel is engineering on this. So this was the title track. This is in 2015. We cut this album. I'm on the whole album, but I just thought we would just go with the title track on this. Super simple part, but I love her voice. She's got the coolest voice. And Steve's banjo really is kind of the glue that holds this whole track together. Sorry, I don't know what's going on here. This voice was fine this morning when I was walking the dogs. But who knows? So I'm going to go ahead right now and, that's what it was. I did like over an hour interview with the Milwaukee Journal paper, I believe it was. And we talked for over an hour because I'm from Milwaukee. I'm in the Wisconsin Musicians Hall of Fame and stuff. So we had a long talk. I'm curious to see, how much of this gets into print, because it was a really long discussion. But I'm kind of wondering why. So between that and the Zoom meeting that we just came off of, I've been doing nothing but talking since 9 this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and play this song. Try to remember this one. I just ran a little bit of it just to check out the vibe. So here we go. So Familiar.
Like I knew you.
settler. So familiar. Steve Martin and Edie Brickell. Steve and Edie. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just like, just settle into it. You don't have to, I could have thrown all kinds of fancy stuff in it, but it really didn't call for it. The banjo style was what it was all about, and her vocal on it. Cool timbre to her voice. But it's a really fun record. So if you want, check that out. It's So Familiar, it's called. Let's see. And today was beautiful. I got up this morning. It was kind of foggy and overcast and cooler. It's dropping about 10 degrees. It's supposed to be cooler as the week goes on. So I'm thrilled about that. So I think that's it for the moment. I've got some things to take care of around the house here, and have to go pick up some cleaner and things like that off to Smart and Final. But wishing everybody all the best. Have a great week, safe week. It's so sad to say it, but the numbers globally, for the most part, are just going up like crazy. In the States, I know it's bad. I was watching the news last night. They were talking about Italy, France, Germany, UK, all shutting down. I think Japan is having issues with it. The only place that didn't seem to have it going up, I think, was Israel. Was the only country where they weren't announcing that numbers were climbing. And I hope everything's still okay down, like in New Zealand. I'll contact Brett McKenzie down there and see what's going on with them. But here, they're starting to spike again, and I'm just very, very hopeful that they can get a handle on this as soon as possible, because this is not a good sign for what's coming up. And so be safe, be smart, just try to do the right thing. Again, vote. Vote, vote. Thank you to all of the people out there working every day to help keep us safe and putting themselves in harm's way in order for us to maintain some semblance of life at this point. So take good care. Let's see if this gets blocked. I mean, this is my adventure every day. Put it up and keep my fingers crossed and hope for the best. Hopefully not. Hopefully everything will be just fine with it. So take good care, and I will see you all tomorrow. And I reach across and hit the button and say bye-bye.